not only is the world shifting in front of them, that everything that they would have control over, like getting up every morning and going to class, was gone. Um, and I could tell that it was wearing on them. And the only thing that was a constant was work at Hotville. And so if I could just keep that going for them and encourage them, just, hey, I'm trying to give you as many hours as you can. They were excited about that, talking to parents and grandparents and guardians about how to make sure that those young people stayed encouraged with something else, like, and then staring at the window and praying that customers would come in just to give the young people something to do. And so I have a thing where I walk around the restaurant, I'm saying, this is Hotville, there's always something to do. Never a moment to be twiddling. What's the paper towel? Did you check the bathroom? I've like polished the light bulbs. There's something to do. And so because I delivered on that promise, the young people got really excited. They look forward to what's going to be on the menu on Monday. What's going to be on the menu on Wednesday? Are we frying fish on Friday? Did our number increase? They look forward. Did you get your email yet from the city telling you what your assignment is? And because I involved them in the process, they have a little bit of stake in the ground and ownership, not just working, but they have a sense of pride that they know they're feeding that population. Feeding that population that's homebound, that's staying at home because they want to remain healthy, and just making sure that they see the posts that we do, and they see that the councilman is reading it, that they see that the mayor's office mentions Hotville in a meeting. They have been paying attention. I didn't know that. I didn't know that people were watching us like that.
Yeah.
We're just focused on the day-to-day tasks of getting the chicken out and doing our best to. And I mean, albeit we're still a new business and there's a lot of kinks to work out. 4 months ain't a long time. And I talk to Greg about that all the time, about just how necessary it is for us to insert and inject ourselves into the business. I'm not one of those business owners that's not around. I'm here. I'm washing dishes. I'm taking the trash out. You should see me. I'm flattening boxes, taking them to the recycle bin. I'm standing on ladders and doing all kind of stuff because it's very much a part of how our family dynamic of Hotville works. So everybody does everything.
That's the part of entrepreneurship that people don't focus on, right?
As
soon as you become an entrepreneur, you become everything. And it's probably the hardest job that you ever have in your life. But there's a certain freedom that comes along with that, right? And part of that freedom is you being able to uplift the people around you, the people who depend on you, and create a space where you can protect their mental health. You can protect their, not just financially, but you can protect them emotionally and mentally as they're trying to navigate through this space, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We have conversations about what to do with their finances now too. I'm always preaching at them like, tomorrow's payday, what you gonna do with your paycheck? And I need to hear them say, take a percentage and save it, take the other percentage and, get what you need off of it, and another percentage you can pay your bills off and that kind of thing. So,
That's incredible.
It's funny, one of my employees told me that he went on Amazon and bought this bow and arrow, right? And I was like, where'd you buy a bow and arrow from? He's like, I like to go hunting. And I'm like, wait a minute, you live off Crenshaw. What are you hunting? And so, I literally just sit there trying to figure out, like, what was the purpose of this expense given the climate that we're in right now.
Right.
I was like, you trying to hunt for your food. You work at a restaurant.
We're not quite there yet. He's prepared. He's thinking ahead, but God willing, we don't get to that place. So
it was just passing time along, and I was just like, okay, how important was that expense, considering you need a coat, considering you broke your glasses and you need a pair of glasses. So we have conversations like that to kind of enlighten, educate, and raise awareness about what to do with their finances. And if we can be that place where we can provide some stability and normalcy, even though times around us are not normal at all. They're not in school, full-time virtual classes. We encourage that. We're helping them fill out their unemployment applications and things like that because they've never experienced that before. They're like, what do I do? What do I do? And so it was important for us to not only just keep our doors open for business, but keep the doors open for them so they can understand how to navigate through these unprecedented times
Yep.
that we're living in right now.
Yep. So in terms of business survival,
Yeah.
PPP rolled out. I think they're on the second iteration now.
Mm-hmm.
Well-documented challenges with small businesses like yours actually getting the money that you're supposed to, or that is supposed to be designed to help. I don't necessarily want to get into the weeds on PPP.
Yeah.
It's well documented in terms of what it's not doing and how inefficient it's been, and understanding like it's a huge program they're trying to roll out. Businesses like yours haven't necessarily been able to tap into it, and it's, more information is coming out. It's not surprising that particularly smaller Black-owned,
Yep.
minority-owned businesses that don't have the traditional long-standing relationships with the major lenders who are in charge of dispersing the money are being kind of shut out, right? So that is kind of what it is. But I wonder if you could talk about the balance between, wanting to keep your staff employed, staying financially viable at the same time, and understanding the importance of like keeping your debt levels low, particularly in a low margin business like a restaurant.
Right.
And kind of that financial fine line that you're walking as an operator to navigate the crisis.
Yeah. Well, I thought that it would be important for Hotville to present itself to the public and the customer base that we serve. I call them kinfolk, to make sure they knew that our doors were open, that our house is their house, that they didn't have to stay in, that they could drive by, pick up their food, get it curbside. We really encourage that. But I didn't want to be because it didn't take debt to get us into the restaurant. We used a lot of, our own retirement money and 401ks and stuff to help us get the restaurant. And so that not having that banking relationship from having been lent to before, something that was going to be new for us. Applying for the PPP and all the other grants that were out there. We did them daily, literally applying all the time for whatever grant came over my email. I applied for it. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I used to be a grant writer. When I was in college, I was a grant writer in Fresno, city of Fresno. And, those experiences helped me cut my teeth and prepared me and conditioned me for now. And so, like, oh, there's this Verizon grant going out with LISC. I was like, oh, I can do that. Put the application in, get denied. Put another grant in for a couple other nonprofit organizations, Restaurant Strong, waiting and waiting. And that's kind of what it's become, looking and seeking assistance right now to get through these times. So it was important for me to, recognizing I don't really have a strong banking relationship, but taking the relationships that I do have that are strong, like with my meat suppliers, like with our utility companies, having those important conversations, being transparent with some of them and saying like, hey, this is what I have. In good faith, I can give you this amount. Not just paying nothing. Don't get me wrong, not just paying nothing, but showing that I could give something. That solidified a stronger relationship with some of the people that we owed money to. I wanted to make sure that Hotville was able to, I need chicken all the time. Doesn't make sense. So I wanted to make sure that our meat supplier, are y'all staying open?
Right.
I'm applying for a PPP. They're asking me, are you applying for the PPP? I'm like, yeah. Like, yeah, we applying for it too. So it's good to know that we're all in the same boat.
Yeah.
But I knew that there was going to be a waiting game. And I knew that I instantly knew that it wasn't necessarily going to be fair. Some of those bigger players, I don't know why it didn't dawn on me that they'd be eligible. I hate to start naming names, but all those who have
yeah.
those who have given the money back. Let me talk
Yep.
about them. The ones who have given the money back. those organizations that has people scratching their heads, wondering how in the world they qualify. Well, they got less than 500 employees. Okay,
Yep.
we'll give them that. But they have they're revenue generating in billions and billions of dollars. And here it is, my little restaurant, you know, it was doing very, very well in those first
Yeah.
3 months, seeing, 6-figure revenue coming in. And then we're like, oh, wait a minute, you got nothing coming in today, nothing coming in tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I thought sure that the PPP was earmarked for organizations and businesses, small, like mine, not recognizing that some of these larger organizations, or what appears to be larger than you and I, are the same qualifiers. They get access to the same pool.
Devil is
Uh,
in the details, right?
exactly. And it wasn't until the information started getting out that they not only applied, qualified and applied, but they actually got the money. And that's where I'm stuck. I literally, every day somebody sends me something because they know I'm passionate about it now because I was on CNN talking about it, how speechless I was to hear some of these organizations actually getting funded. But I'm like, how quickly they got funded. And, it's a little deeper than banking relationships. It's deeper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Got it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, when you look at the totem pole, it's something bigger, louder, more colorful, screaming
Preach.
about,
Yeah.
about those organizations and their relationships with those banks that got lent that money.
Yes.
For them to be able to have a check already. We're 6 weeks into this thing, 42, 43 days in,
Mm-hmm.
and they got $4.6 million to give back.
Yeah.
I don't even need a chance of that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how is it that you got the money and I'm on a wait list? How is it that you got the money and I have a denial letter? How is it that you got the money
Mm-hmm.
to give back?
Mm.
And I'm just like, mind you, I had to pray. I'm like, Lord, please don't let me. I don't want to sound ungrateful. I'm grateful for that second round of funding. It's good to know that the interview that aired last week went all the way to the White House. If I got to be the diplomat or the delegate that goes forward to preach to the king, like, hey, what about us? I gladly wear that badge. But it's just, remember at the beginning, I started talking about sustain. I used the word sustain. Prayer for God to sustain the business. That's exactly what's happening now. And, now we actually had the luxury of the option. We got approved for a PPP after that segment aired on CNN within a matter of days.
It's funny how that happens, right?
Yeah, we got approved.
Did your credit go up in those 4 days?
Did my what?
Did your credit score go up in those 3 days that made it possible for you to get the loan? I'm just trying to figure out what happened there. I'm sure it'll come to me.
Yeah, what changed? What changed? Whatever the answer to that question is, because we're the same little small independent business with 20 employees. I lost 6. I don't know what changed in the matter of like 48 to 72 hours, but it changed. We got approval. I haven't signed a promissory note as of today. However, I'm glad that we got approved, but I'm glad I also had the option of whether I want to sign that document or not. Things were going well enough. Things were going well enough to where we had the option of whether we actually assigned for it or not, of applying for the various grants. It's good to have the cushion there. It's good to have the extra financial support. It's
100%.
good to, that those loans are forgivable. I'm one of those type of people who will sit for hours and read the fine print, like the terms that people skip and just say accept and I agree. No, I'm the one that goes through every page and reads it, because I don't want to put my business over a barrel.
Yeah.
I don't want my business to be in a compromised position 8 weeks later. You get that $10,000 advance from the SBA, or you get, in reference to the economic injury disaster loan. I don't want to put my hands in a pot and become a slave to to the lender.
Yep.
I rather be the lender. Using script a reference to scripture. He makes you the lender, not the borrower. So I pray that Hotville be a blessing to the community that I serve, and as a result of just that faith move, um, we are standing. We're out of the break-even zone. We're seeing sales and profit again. Um, Again, nothing's changed in our kitchen. Nothing's changed. We're doing what we've been doing. We just have a different mode of operation. We don't have people warming up our seats anymore. But as they get ready to lift the bans and allow people to, be free to move out the cabin again, I'm looking forward to opening up our doors and allowing people to come back in. We're strategizing use and implementation of every measure possible to keep our customers safe and our workers safe, from masks to face shields and goggles and gloves and, all that stuff. Yes, we are going to employ that to the best of our ability and not distract from the quality of our product and our service that we need to put out.
Yeah.
You can tell I'm passionate about how to do this, so I surround myself with lots and lots of wise people, advisors. I read a lot to make sure that we're staying in compliance. We get visits from health department compliance officers and entrepreneurs out there. Don't take shortcuts. Um, there's no shortcut to success. You're gonna scrape your knees. You're gonna fall forward. Um, you're gonna get bumped and bruised. You might get cut. You're gonna get backstabbed. You're gonna lose some followers. You're gonna have some haters. That comes with the territory, but you keep your eyes on the prize. Stay focused and keep going. That's what I would encourage anybody to do. I don't know if you want to jump into talking about the sale of the property and the mall.
Not yet, but I will circle back with you shortly. I'm working on some. I'm doing my homework. So before I speak on that, I want to make sure I understand everything correctly.
Yeah, me too. We've had quite a few calls come in since the announcement was made. I will say we are not blind tenants. We're not I don't want to sound offensive, but we're not a deaf tenant. We're there. We got our ear to the ground, and I'm a sniffer, and I'm very nosy. So I was paying attention to what was going on.
Yeah.
And it's not something that's sudden. Say,
it is not.
Purchases of property this size and a historic one at that, don't happen overnight. And I was aware of that well back in September, anticipation of something coming, having seen additional plans made. The lease that was offered us attractive, actually. And so I'm not worried. I'll roll with it. However, whatever the outcomes are, I think Hotville is proof that it knows how to roll with the punches.
I was just gonna say, what are they gonna throw at you, right? That you have not dealt with as an entrepreneur already. This is like this. It's impossible, right? So, on that note, let me just ask you this: how can people best support you? Is it just coming in and spending a few dollars and how can the community rally around you for not only now but once we get out of this crisis and really support an enterprise that has such an obvious passion and commitment to the community that it's serving?
Yeah, well, Matthew, I'm so proud of our little house here. I always want a Hotville to be something that the community could take ownership of. They could be proud of. They can say, you know what, that's in my backyard. I walk there. I can ride my bike there. That's right down the street from me. That's in my hood. I always want a Hotville to be that beacon, and right down to the expensive signage that we have on the building. That's something that I want the people who live in the 90008 zip code, CD8 with the council district that we're in. Baldwin Hills, our neighbors, Culver City, the Adams district area. People even all the way down to Hyde Park, and South Central LA can be proud of the fact that Hotville Chicken is in their neighborhood, is what I want to say. Leimert Park, Baldwin Hills, Windsor Hills, View Park, all of those people, including the seniors that we serve, we're staying at home. They're eating my food at home when they used to eat here, and that didn't change. So the virus ain't changed nothing. It just they can still eat chicken. So after this is all lifted, you can still eat Nashville hot chicken. We got delivery, we got takeout, we got curbside pickup, phone your order in.
Got fish too.
And we got fish. We got vegan stuff. We're working on everything possible to make sure we can satisfy and meet the needs of the people who want to eat. But I'm looking forward to inviting everybody back home to my house again, to get to come to Hotville and get a little sense of the South and the taste of Nashville and all that my family started back in the 1930s. If they could open a business in the 30s, surely we could sustain a business in 2020.
That's it. Yeah, and we look forward to coming back and getting some of that home cooking.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
That on that note, that wraps up our interview with Kim Prince, the owner, operator, and heart and soul of Hotville Chicken. Once again, Matthew Gates for In the Building LA. For more content like this on the people, projects, and policies that are reshaping our community, please be sure to follow us on Instagram at In the Building LA. And in the meantime, stay home, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.